Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Coca-Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In this bulletin, Nandi man in critical condition after alleged assault. Yachting earns Fiji over $20 million. And Child Welfare Unit promotes good parenting. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. A 48-year-old man is in critical condition in the ICU of the Lautoka Hospital while police investigate two different reports of how he came to be so seriously injured. One filed by his family, the other filed by the man the family has accused of causing the injuries.
Police say the family of Vasudewa Naidu reported he received a telephone call from a close acquaintance as was asked to accompany him on a trip to Suva yesterday afternoon. Later, they reported he was dropped off near their home seriously injured.
They took my father and I don't know what happened over there. They just beat him so badly that after beating him, they dropped him on the roadside. And he was all in the blood.
They took him to hospital and filed a police report. Meanwhile, another police report has been filed by the close acquaintance believed to be involved in the assault. It apparently gives his side of what happened. But police are not releasing any details.
At this stage, it's still in a preliminary stage, and we really won't be able to reveal more unless we have a chance to speak to the victim himself, and we still haven't got the okay to do that as of now.
At present, the intensive police investigation continues and no charges have yet been laid. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Only one recount of votes is allowed at the polling stations as stated under the 2014 electoral decree. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Sanim says counting is done in the polling stations where agents and observers can be present. After opening the ballot box, the presiding officer must mix all the ballots and begin sorting. Sanim says invalid votes will be rejected and the number of votes received by the candidates is to be recorded in the protocol of results. A recount can be done, but only upon a request.
If a polling agent wants a recount of the votes, it can be done only once at the polling station. After that, it has to be brought to the Fijian Elections Office and counted, if a further request is made.
Meanwhile, the Elections Office has revealed that in February alone, 2,497 Fijians registered to vote, 1,148 people replaced lost voter cards, and 413 made corrections to their voter details, including changes to their residential addresses. This brings the total of registered voters as of the end of February to 547,544. A former music teacher of Kandavu charged for allegedly raping an underage student appeared before Judge Justice Salesi Temo at the Suva High Court today. The court heard that on the 26th of May 2012, Aisake Kivik allegedly called the student to his house and raped her. The 16-year-old victim today took the stand and recalled the events of the day. She was 13 years old at the time of the incident. The victim told her sister of what had happened, and the matter was reported to the police by the school vice principal. The trial continues tomorrow. A 1-year-old Tailevu girl has become the nation's latest drowning victim. She was found floating in a fish pond yesterday afternoon. The incident occurred at Naila Tailevu in the Eastern Division. The victim, the youngest of 6 children, was at home with her older siblings when around 5 p.m. she wandered outside toward the fish pond only 10 meters from their home. The drowning toll now stands at 20 compared to 19 for the same period last year. The Child Services Unit of the Department of Social Welfare has new plans for more efficient childcare and protection. Social Welfare Director Rupeni Fatiaki said the unit will increase awareness programs and venture into new areas, all for the betterment of childcare in Fiji. Shireen Lata reports.
This year, the Child Services Unit will increase awareness programs in communities which have recorded increased child welfare cases.
We're looking also at working with stakeholders or partners who are already, there in the community, who are complementing the work of the ministry. For example, there's NGOs that are working with CSEC victims. This is commercial sexual exploitation of children.
There are also plans to train welfare officers on how to strengthen child protection services during emergencies and when disaster strikes. Director Rupeni Fatiaki says they want the welfare officers to be aware of their roles.
One of the things that we have managed to achieve this year through the functional review that was done last year is to recruit 23 additional officers. So this has been endorsed and approved, and therefore we are in the process of trying to bring in these 23 officers, which will help, especially in the field, to have officers concentrating on just doing child welfare, attend to child welfare issues.
Work towards developing a child welfare helpline in Fiji is also in progress.
We are working on it. We have received proposals from interested parties who would like to implement this program, so we are working on it. The idea is to enable children to call if they have any issues that they would like to share or to report.
One of the key pillars of the community awareness program focuses on positive parenting. Rupeni Fatiaki says there's a need for families to work together and listen to their children. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
Coming up, leadership training for chiefly women.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot.
देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi tauwa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम वहीं लंबा में रहता है. तो क्या बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The yachting industry is growing in leaps and bounds, according to the Port Denarau Marina in Nadi. Its 2013 Fiji Marine Industry Survey shows more than $28 million contributed to the economy through yachting. Savara Tambua has more.
The survey shows a strong, consistent growth, earning Fiji millions of dollars.
The important thing to note is that there is consistency, and on average we've been looking at contributing around $30 million per year to the national economy.
606 yachts sailed to Fiji last year. Super yachts spend on average over $200,000 in Fiji, while smaller yachts spend just over $20,000. Port Denarau Managing Director Nigel Skaggs says the results show that Fiji is cemented as a super yacht destination. To attract even more big splendors, the Port Denarau Marina will be at the Monaco Yacht Show in September. This is where the multi-millionaire of the world gather.
Our job now is to ensure that they keep coming through. So we're working in strategic partnerships with other partners between Australia, New Zealand, and throughout the Pacific to encourage more and more of these super yachts to come into the Pacific.
The yachting industry isn't restricted to Denarau in Nadi. Port Denarau is working with the Lao Provincial Council and government departments by facilitating customs clearance and opening up the Lao Group to this new revenue stream. Sabaira Tambua, FBC News.
The Ministry of Women, in collaboration with Itauke Affairs, is putting together a special training program for chiefly women in Fiji. Known as the Maramani Avusa, these women are traditional leaders in their respective communities. The Ministry for Women seeks to empower them to play a more active role in society. Ellen Stahls has more.
Chiefly Itauke women will now receive professional training thanks to an initiative by the Ministry of Women and Itauke Affairs. The Director for Women, Mrs. Arieta Modeida, says the training for the Maramani Avusa will commence in August.
We'll have real professionally trained communicators to train the women on how to communicate, confidence building, and also just how you conduct yourself at meetings. and they will take back with them a training package, a little Nokia or something. So when they go to a meeting, they take this little Nokia and they feel important. Yes, I am a leader amongst my people, I've been trained, there's now an expectation.
Mrs. Modeda says as Maramani Avusa, they are expected to sit at the Mboseva Koro, Tikina and Yasana. They want to empower women so that when they go to these meetings, they know they have an obligation to voice the concerns of their people and to also report back on what took place at the meeting. The Ministry for Women says that this is not a one-off and that they're actually planning these trainings to be conducted annually. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
The Korean government will set up low-cost sewage treatment technology for rural water and sanitation schemes soon. Minister for Works Timothy Natuva says the project will help improve water quality for people who don't have piped water. Vosita Kotawasawasa reports.
The workshop in Suva will help stakeholders directly involved in the maintenance of water and wastewater systems. They will team up with experts from Korea to research cheap environment-friendly waste management methods for Fiji.
This technology is to develop a low-cost and environmentally friendly treatment for sewage system in Fiji, which has been researched, trialed, and applied successfully in Korea.
Natuva adds this project is designed for capacity building of local staff in the areas of research and training on water and sewerage technology that is aimed to support green growth in Fiji. It will also help improve wastewater management.
The introduction of this new technology system in the treatment of wastewater in Fiji under this sole initiative could reduce the threat of pollution to our water source and environment and thus improve the health standard of living for our rural and urban dwellers.
Korean ambassador to Fiji, Seong-in Kim, says the pilot program is part of the Seoul initiative to achieve green growth in the Asia-Pacific region by promoting effective environmental policies. Kim adds that since 2008, the Korean Environment Corporation has conducted 22 pilot projects in 14 countries. Vasita Kotiwaswasa, FBC News.
We turn to sports now, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Good evening. Up ahead, key flying Fijians to miss out on June test matches and the latest results from Easter competition. This and more after the break.
Old on top of me, it's only Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Baake har ghar mein khali Mirchi FM baje. Mirchi FM is hot.
Best sound, best music, Mirchi FM rocks and records.
Nalika #1 station hai Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot. Mirchi FM it's #1 in nursery.
Mirchi FM is hot. हम लोग Mirchi FM रोज सुनता है. Mirchi FM जागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Pivotal flying Fijians Serma Mbai and Josh Matavesi will not participate in any of Fiji's June test matches. FRU High Performance Unit Manager John McKee has confirmed their unavailability to wear the white jumper. Elaine McDonald reports with the appointment of a flying Fijians coach still pending, McKee is left to pick up the responsibility.
The absence of Sarah Mayambai and Josh Matavesi from the Flying Fijians squad this year only means it's time for others to step up to the plate. Mbai is set to leave top 14 French club Castures to join the Leicester Tigers in the United Kingdom, while Josh Matavesi recovers from an injury.
An issue with one player around his relocation of clubs in the off-season, and that's the only window he's got to move him and his family is during June, so I fully understand that. Another one of our sort of highly ranked players is out injured with a broken hand, but he'll come back into contention in November.
McKee's 2-week visit to France was intended to hold face-to-face talks with players and their clubs.
I think by developing a lot of trust there, we can really work a lot better with the clubs and making sure our players are available, and also having a lot more knowledge about our players so we can make really good selections.
The trip effectively revealed players' plans when being called up for national duty. Fiji Rugby's only choice in national selections is to work with the best available players. In June, there's the test against Italy, then the Pacific Nations Cup. But it's the Rugby World Cup qualifiers against Cook Islands where, no matter the situation, top priority for Fiji is to field its best possible team. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Glasgow and London Sevens are the final leg of the RB World 7 Series, and Ben Ryan and his men will look to finish on a high. Currently at third place in the overall series standings, it's now come to the point where Fiji must use the remaining tournaments to build toward the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio. But first up, while in camp, players are preparing themselves for the cold weather expected in the United Kingdom.
Automatic qualifying to the Olympics 2016. So that's where the focus too is on, not only for these two tournaments, that we start doing the preparation too for the next series. That we want to be in that four top place.
Fiji wants to finish in the top 4 this season and carry that momentum into next year, when the top 4 finishers in the RB series will be guaranteed entry into the Rio Olympic Games. AS Pirae is through to the semi-final of the OFC Champions League, beating Waitakere United 3-1 at Churchill Park in Lautoka. The Tahitians' victory also means Auckland City qualifies for the semi-final. Here are the goals from the AS Pirae and Waitakere United match.
Market clipped in. Right, Moana, Leaf. Oh, it's a goal for Pirae. Right, Roa. Leaf Kui, Nia Bennett. 2-0. That's for Waitakere. He scores. Yeah, that's it. It's all over. Pirae have.
Meanwhile, Solomon Warriors defeated Kiwi FC 8-0 earlier in the day. After 2 days of competition, the Suva Warriors are feeling the pressure of the Easter Cricket Championship. The defending champions only managed to fend off Island Minnows Lakemba by 13 runs yesterday and defeated Oneilau by 137 runs today.
This year's tournament is very strong. Comparing the 3 qualifiers from the Lau conference, it is going to be very tough for both Suva teams to reach the finals. But it is that Suva has been a regular in its game every week, and selecting the team is a bit tougher.
The team is laced with national reps and will rely on players like Kichone Tavo, Misuita Lembula, Noah Adewai and Captain Tapo Dolati to steer them to another championship title. In other matches today, Mode defeated West Tigers by 106 runs, while Suva Crusaders beat the Cricket Fiji Invitational side by 63 runs. The Easter Basketball Championship was off to a slamming start in Suva last night as teams chased down the $2,000 prize purse up for grabs this weekend. Taking early leads in the women's division is the Ladybirds and Sparks, while for the men, a young Mighty Mites outfit did well to win the tournament opener against outsiders. New Caledonian outfit SS1 had a close call with local side New Era to win 27-21. Games continue tonight at the Vodafone Arena in Laudalo Bay with 3 women's and 6 men's games lined up. That was your sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fiji can now export to cities in Asia, Europe, the Middle East and the United States thanks to Fiji Airways' new interline cargo agreements with Korean Air, Hawaiian Airlines, Etihad Airways, Malaysia Airlines and Hong Kong Airlines. Fiji Airways will provide its new partners with cargo feeds from 34 of its flights and link up with 47 new international flights. Fiji Airways CEO Stefan Pickler says the new agreements present new opportunities for Fijian exporters and also provide new sources for the import of goods to Fiji. Pickler says freight customers will be able to ship cargo to new destinations like Beijing through Hong Kong Airlines. Further cargo capacity will be given to Hawaii on Hawaiian Airlines through Auckland and Sydney. Meanwhile, Fijian businesses are now able to import products from Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. Time for weather, and didn't we experience great conditions, Jen?
We sure did, Jackie. Not a single cloud today. And as I like to refer to our sunny icons here, lots of smiley faces. I get really excited when I see this type of weather, considering it's so rare. Now, similar conditions weren't the only thing the Western Division had in common. They also had the same temperature at 32 degrees Celsius. Mombasa was the warmest at 33, while Savu was the coolest at 30. Looking at tomorrow's weather, expect a shower in Suva and a shower in the Hidden Paradise. Otherwise, it's lovely conditions leading up to Easter. For mariners, southeast winds are at 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. Think pink. Well, that's what popped into my head when I saw this gorgeous photo today. Beautiful Frenchipennies, brilliant weather. What more could you ask for? And speaking of beautiful, we have a new weather girl joining us. She'll be taking over this segment, so be sure to tune in tomorrow. On that note, do take care, stay safe, and stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Recapping the headlines, Nandi man in critical condition after alleged assault. Yachting earns Fiji over $20 million, and Child Welfare Unit promotes good parenting. This week's poll question, we're asking, should the old Rewa Bridge be demolished? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. We'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, good night.